Hello and welcome to From the South, teleSur's daily news show. This is our 2016 U.S. presidential election special coverage. We start off in the United States, where voting in the U.S. presidential elections is underway across the country just a day after the two nominees, Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump, made their last push in swing states in hopes of securing the White House. A late Monday poll by Reuters and Ipsos showed Clinton with a 90% chance of winning. Republican candidate Donald Trump expressed solidarity with conservative Latin Americans living in the United States. Via his Facebook page, Trump posted, quote, "Today in Florida, I pledge to stand with the people of Cuba and Venezuela in their fight against oppression." This follows his near-continuous anti-immigrant and Mexican rhetoric, which has mobilized Latino voters against him and his presidential candidacy. Speaking of that, Mexicans expressed concern of a possible Donald Trump presidency on the eve of U.S. elections following the candidate's vows to deport undocumented migrants and build a border wall at Mexico's expense. Mexican lawmakers had launched the hashtag Diles que votan, or tell them to vote. The campaign was to encourage Latinos in the United States to go out and vote against the Republican candidate. Meanwhile, a day before U.S. citizens took to the polls, shamans in Peru chimed in on the elections, calling on the gods to punish Donald Trump. Several of them gathered at a beach in Lima to perform a ritual which they hoped would hand Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton the presidency. The shamans believed the race was tight, but were convinced of a Clinton victory. Donald Trump is very arrogant. He thinks that because he's a millionaire, he can offend the human race. He can marginalize women. He can hate certain people. His karma is negative, and we punished him with sea sand and salt, and he will not be president. In international news, hundreds of local and foreign lawyers held a silent protest on the streets of Hong Kong against a new ruling that bars two lawmakers from taking office in the Hong Kong legislature. Beijing has repeatedly condemned the pro-independence movement as a threat to Chinese sovereignty. Thousands of nurses and health sector employees protested over their working conditions in Paris and in towns across France. The demonstrators say patients' care was at risk after increased budget cuts and staff shortages. The demonstration came after nurses committed a series of suicides over the summer. German police arrested 5 men on suspicion of being affiliated to the self-proclaimed Islamic State group in the city of Hildesheim. According to the prosecution office, the group allegedly managed to smuggle a young man into Syria with his family to fight an Islamic State group-controlled area of the conflict-stricken country.
A European delegation headed by EU representative in Palestine, Ralph Taraf, arrived in the Gaza Strip via the Beit Hanun Erez crossing Tuesday morning. The mission of 20 diplomats visited locations of vital projects funded by the European Union in Gaza, including a UN school and a newly rebuilt home in Beit Hanun in the northern strip. The ambassadors discussed with the ministers of the Palestinian Unity Government in Gaza, along with representatives of civil society, the deteriorating economic and humanitarian situations in Gaza due to the Israeli blockade. Speaking at a press conference at the Archimed Hotel in the northwest of Gaza City, EU representative Ralph Taraf stressed on the importance of creating immediate political, security and economic changes in Gaza.
EU heads of mission in Jerusalem and Ramallah met with the minister of the Palestinian Unity Government in Gaza, as well as representatives of the civil society, in order to bring about a basic political security and economic change by ending the closure, taking Israel's legal security concerns into account and allowing the Palestinian Authority to take its full responsibility towards residents here.
Israel imposed a tightened blockade on the Gaza Strip in 2007 after Hamas took control of the coastal territory in 2007. The blockade has devastated Gaza's economy and denied about 2 million individuals from much-needed essential services such as movement, healthcare, and education. According to Oxfam, more than 43% of people in Gaza are now unemployed. The majority of them are youths. About 80% of the populations rely on humanitarian aid. Noor Harazin, teleSur TV, Gaza.
And finally, Santiago residents making their daily commutes were greeted by a dozen giant-sized fried eggs splattered around a central plaza in the city. This was part of an eye-catching pop-up 3D art installation as part of an artistic expression festival called Made at Home. And that's all for From the South. More on these and other stories at telesurtv.net/English.